Hello, me Valentina with my classmate Melanie are going to present our teacher's approach analysis. First, we are going to present the school where we did our research, and then the teacher and we analyzed, and the class where we did our ethnographic research. Then we are going to present the roles of the teacher, the student, and the activities. And later we are going to go deep into the approach. We are going to see the psychological and linguistical perspective of the teacher's approach. And finally, we are going to see if the teacher develops or integrate the skills in her activities. Estrella de Chile School is a public establishment located in Pudahuel. The school provides pre- and elementary education. The enrollment of the school is 1,267 students. 13.5% of the parents are unemployed, which is a superior percentage according to the national average. Most of the students belong to the low media social class, and the school works with Jornada Escolar Completa law.
The teacher to be analyzed is Sara Ibanez. She is 50 years old, although she is currently working as an English teacher and has been doing so during 23 years. She also has a degree on French pedagogy, which was her first experience as a foreign language teacher. Classroom profile. The class that has been recorded is a 4th grade. The amount of students is of 45. However, there were only 38 students in the class observed. Thursday is the only day of the week the students have English classes, and the length of the module is 90 minutes. In relation to the arrangement of the class, students are usually in groups of 4 to 6, and there's one assistant.
In order to do our ethnographic research, first we recorded the class with a video camera with the permission of the teacher. We also took photos of the book activities and from the board, and then we transcribed what happened in the class.
We also searched for specialized literature in order to conduct our analysis. And finally, we analyzed the ethnographic research with the literature in order to support our conclusions about the teacher's approach.
We consider that the teacher's role in an instructional system is basically teacher-centered. Why? Because according to Huban Fed, the teacher is over the control of the student's learning process. She chooses the content. She never asks students what they want to learn. It's also the provider of the language. She also promotes competition and individualism, because she is also always saying who is the first. What else? Lo primero que terminan para revisar el combinario mágico, she always puts sevens. To the first students who finish the activities, and that encourages obviously competition among students. And according to Richards and Rogers, we took this concept of teacher proof because she uses instructional material in order to conduct her lessons, and she uses the book like more than a half of the lesson. So that's why we consider this concept. And according to the speech, we could observe that she uses like expressive speech when she says very good, when students answer correctly questions, or representative speech like asking for silence, and that's a lot of times. That happens a lot of times. Or when she asks them to pay attention, look here. Or when she says the instructions of the activities, like you have to escuchar, mirar y copiar. Then she says that in English, look, listen, copy, listen, look, and copy. And she is the authority as because she is also demanding silence, as I already said, and that's all.
Students' role in the instructional system present the following characteristics. First, the students don't have control over their own learning process. Since it's a teacher-centered class, they don't interfere in terms of contents. They are not asking for what they want to learn. For instance, the contents are based on the book. Second, students are controlled performers. The teacher controls and directs all the activities they have to do. For instance, there is an activity that the teacher has to read an email. She gives clear instructions of what they have to do. And then the students have to listen to her, look at the board for the words, and then copy them in the book. Third, students are under a stimulus response mechanism. According to the previous example, the teacher is the one who provides the stimulus by speaking or asking the students some questions, and students have to come up with answers, which is the response to that stimulus. Students don't interact with their classmates. In the teacher-centered class, teacher-student interactions are common, and students don't communicate with each other. The activities are usually focused on individual work, so that don't allow students to interact with each other. Finally, students are passive recipients of information. They do not produce knowledge, but they only have to remember what they have learned. For instance, at the beginning of the class, the teacher asks the students for the days of the week, so the students have to remember which are the days of the week.
Now we are going to see what two activities aim at. The role of instructional material corresponds to the level of design, and according to what we have seen, Uh, the type of activities or material the teacher uses aims at present content. For example, in the activity where the students have to write the word by looking the disorganized letters next to them, and compare them to the words above with pictures. The activity is also aimed at practice content. For example, in the activity where there are the toy store, candy store, firehouse, bakery, or school, in the book says that they have to read, copy, and then cover and write. But the teacher asks them to copy the word, but then translate it. And this type of activities promotes individual work. In other words, these activities inhibit classroom interaction. These activities, as you can see, never ask to work in pairs, and in any other activity that the teacher does, she never asks students to interact.
Teacher's approach. Following Anthony, cited in Richard and Rogers, approach refers to theories about the nature of language and language learning that serve as the source of practices and principles in language teaching. In other words, it refers to the philosophy or belief system that a method reflects. Therefore, the way the teacher teaches her class and how she sees the English language is going to reflect her approach. In the student's learning process, we identify the behaviorist theory. According to Richard and Rogers, learning in behaviorism is a process in which specific behaviors are acquired in response to a specific stimuli, classical conditioning, or according to the consequences, operant conditioning. In the first example, the teacher is trying to make students behave since they are walking around the room. So she tells them that she will deduct points in the test if they are not on their seats. So the fear of having a low mark is the reason why students behave in the end. In the example number 2, students are doing a task, an activity, and the teacher tells them that who finishes first, for the one who finishes first, she is going to check them with her magic pencil. She says that los primeros en terminar avísenme para corregirles con mi lápiz mágico. So the magic pencil is the stimulus. In the third example, again, she tells them to hurry up while doing an activity, and she says that the first who finishes is going to get a 7. So the mark is the prize again. And finally, as the example we mentioned before, the teacher is the one who provides the stimulus by reading the email. In the activity, she has to read an email, and the students have to listen to her, look, and copy the words in the book. So that is the response to that stimulus. Another characteristic in behaviorism is reinforcement. According to Skinner, correct responses are reinforced and increase the chance of the behavior becoming learning. By analyzing the teacher's speech, we could identify some expressions she usually uses when a student gives her a good answer, a correct answer. So she tells them very good or excellent.